Big fields. Good morning. Happy homecoming to you and welcome to Crown Forum. My name is David Wall-Rice, and I want to begin this morning by highlighting a few program details so that we are as seamless as possible in the execution of this celebration of Morehouse College. Off top, I want to acknowledge the genius of our college organist, Dr. David Oliver. A hand for Dr. Oliver, please. Our program today is very straightforward. First, I'll talk for a moment and kind of briefly frame why and how we're here today. I'll then introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. David Morrow will then lead the Morehouse College Glee Club in singing Rockin' Jerusalem as arranged by Damon Dandridge. Dr. Jamal Bryant will then come up to share with us, and then Dean Carter will lead us as we reveal our alumni portraits. And finally, we'll sing the college hymn and conclude our programming. Is that good? Is that good? You okay? Okay, great. All right, cool. We'll go with that. All right, so again, good morning. My name is David Wall-Rice. I'm a 1995 graduate of Morehouse College, and I'm also the Crown Forum endowed professor and chair of the Department of Psychology here at the college. And of course, this is where we are. I mean, at Morehouse, obviously, but we're at Crown Forum, a Thursday at 11 a.m. tradition that is an evolution of daily chapel here at Morehouse. Certainly our student scholars know this. You'll see them coming in as they are here each Thursday to engage thought leaders, moral practitioners, and champions of the greater good as they are figuring how to make meaning of their disciplines and of their contributions to the world once they graduate. And returning alumni know Crown Forum because this is a Genesis space where we are still challenged to grow into, to earn, and to ensure the proper fit of that Mazian frown placed just above the heads of all Morehouse men. I introduce this space that has been consecrated for the past 47 years by Dean Lawrence Edward Carter Sr., the founding dean of the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel. You might know that Dean Carter is retiring at the conclusion of this academic year, so if we could brilliantly acknowledge him, please. Dean Carter was my religion professor, and I earned a C in his class. I introduced this space and am setting the meditative posture of being home because we have visitors. And visitors, I want you to recognize this as your home also. Many of our visitors are with us today to share in celebrating the 9 here who will be afforded the high honor of their portrait reveal, the portrait to be placed in this storied chapel's International Hall of Honor. For us, surely this is a special homecoming, but in addition to extending to all here a happy homecoming, I say most importantly, welcome home. And I say welcome home because this chapel nave, this spiritual anchoring device, is surely the home for graduates of Morehouse College and the student scholars who are here now and are soon to graduate, but it's also the good belly for good people who are invested in goodness and wholeness and love and justice and who are invested in freedom. Indeed, the ultimate products of this place, of this college, are strong Black men who provide moral leadership and strength across our global village. By extension, then, we pray and expect that all who are here in this chapel today find comfort in this home base that charges us to celebrate the best of all Black men by seeing in them the best parts of ourselves. In his text, A Baptist Preacher's Buddhist Teacher, Dean Carter says of this chapel ministry, and I repurpose his words to specify this moment, he says, "The Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel Ministry at Morehouse College is a place of collegiate worship that is also a forum to bring people of different cultures, nationalities, and faith traditions together in the spirit of harmony, nonviolence, and peace, in the spirit of critical, controversial, courageous, but respectful dialogue, and in the spirit of building Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of a world house. This is a start toward helping American students of all ages and likenesses," these are my words, "who are lagging in familiarity with the international environment to understand the meaning of what it is to be a moral cosmopolitan." To be clear, you're being here today with the state of the world as it is, getting ready to listen to Jamal say something amazing like he did back in our college days, is radical moral cosmopolitan act. It's a radical moral cosmopolitan act. You're saying that you find truth and purpose and passion and responsibility and dynamism in those who we're too frequently told explicitly and implicitly are little more than clowns and playthings. Black men are mostly popularly set just so to entertain and or to co-sign a perverted capitalism that crushes those who don't play white into the margins and makes routine pushing us to the carceral system to fuel imperialism and to stop out the most vulnerable in favor of the orange, shiny, hollow trophy of being seen by a supremacist racial design that doesn't care for us at all and that works hard against our well-being. We don't do that here, though, not at Morehouse. We don't perform. We don't shine, as my granddaddy would say. Rather, we shine light. Et facta est lux. We shine light on the real, everyday exceptionalism and humanness of Black men. This is one of the most important ways that we etch out our freedom here. So welcome home. Welcome to a safe space where you can fill up and you can celebrate, because we know we need celebrations to support the freedom work we've done, the freedom work we're doing, and the freedom work that this twisted up version of the great experiment that is the United States of America continues to demand that we do. These brothers up here are examples of that freedom work of Morehouse College. They are home in both their place and their positionality. This is Crown 4. This is Morehouse College. This is you. Welcome home. So again, let's be clear. You hear what I'm doing there? Okay. After the Morehouse College Glee Club sings, the next words you will hear will take us all the way home, and they'll be from my Morehouse brother, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church pastor and activist and author, and one who has an ongoing commitment to uplift, inspire, and transform lives through the power of faith, knowledge, and action. The words after our Glee Club will be Dr. Jamal-Harrison Bryant. But first, the Morehouse College Glee Club. Dr. Murrah.
Jerusalem, I hear archangels are ringing them bells. Church getting higher, higher, Jerusalem. Church getting higher. Just keep on ringing them bells. Church getting higher, higher, Jerusalem. Church getting higher. Just keep on ringing them bells. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha, oh, Mary, ring them bells. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha, oh, Mary, ring them bells. I hear archangels a-rocking Jerusalem. I hear archangels a-ringing them bells. I hear archangels a-rocking Jerusalem. I hear archangels a-ringing them bells. Listen to the Lamb, rocking Jerusalem. Listen to the angels keep on ringing them bells. Listen to the Lamb, rocking Jerusalem. Listen to the angels keep on ringing them bells. In New Jerusalem, oh, in New Jerusalem, oh, in New Jerusalem, oh, in New Jerusalem. Keep on ringing them bells. 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 Keep on ringing. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha, oh, Mary, keep on. 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 Oh, Mary, bring them bells. 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 Angels keep ringing them bells. New Jerusalem, ringing them bells.
Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. To our esteemed and effective President, to the indefatigable Dean Lawrence Carter, to those who I share this amazing honor, to the faculty and to the staff, to this incredible choir, and to those of you who make the family of Morehouse College. The National Museum of Spain, you go down to the third hall, you find a mural oil painting by Pablo Picasso entitled Guernica. It was rendered in 1937. This powerful anti-war statement of a peace depicts the German aerial bombing of a small town and the after effect of the Spanish Civil War. Picasso chose a monochromatic color scheme of black, white, and gray, reminiscent of newspaper photography in that time, in order to exalt a brutal rawness to the image. Upon completing the project, Picasso considered painting in the middle of it a red teardrop, but he decided against it, opting instead to strip the image of any color. He believed in doing so, he was forcing viewers to focus on the tragedy and suffering without the emotional distraction of vibrancy. So he said, there'll be no red. Red as a color embodies a wide range of emotion from love, passion, rage, danger, and energy. And Picasso said he didn't want any of it in his picture. Picasso deciding not to use red was to interpret trauma through a colorblind lens. And today, as I look through the landscape of America, there are no 50 shades of gray. I see red. And it's not just because of the fanatical occult baseball caps. I'm seeing red filled with rage because ICE agents are zip tying 12-year-olds. I'm seeing red because the voting rights bill is being gutted. The Supreme Court has lost its spine. Congressional lines are being redrawn. The real pirates of the Caribbean are bombing ships without any due process. Letitia James is being attacked. 300,000 black women have lost their jobs. Stephen Smith and Clarence Thomas are tap dancing to a harmonica that only the morality depraved can hear. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red because the Qatari royal family gets an Air Force base in Idaho, and Argentina gets a $20 billion bailout, but your grandmother can't afford insulin. Black farmers are stuck with their crops. And yesterday, your niece lost all funding for special education. I see red. I see red because just this week the KKK turns 137 years old, but they've never been listed as a terrorist organization. But the IRS sees them as a Christian nonprofit agency. All while in the matter of 5 years they've decimated Black Lives Matter. I see red. I wish that life were easy, just enough for it to just be black, white, and gray. But far too many of us are not seeing the bigger picture. In 2003, Toni Morrison was being interviewed by the New York Magazine, and the reporter asked Toni Morrison to give a critique of Ralph Ellison's novel Invisible Man. Toni Morrison responded, "Invisible to whom? Who is it that you think can't see black men?" Young men of Morehouse, I hope you realize you are not being ignored. They see you, and their seeing you is the problem. How dare you walk out of a single-parent home and prepare yourself to walk across a stage? They see you, not having all of the money that's needed and necessary, but you have found it by your grit and by your gumption to be able to stay another semester. They see you, learning about finance and business and about coding and about philosophy. They see you. You are white supremacy's greatest nightmare, and you can't get them out of the frame. How did you think that you will go unseen and unnoticed? After all, you're well-traveled, well-spoken, well-dressed, well-read. There is no man living that is your equal or your peer, because you are a Morehouse man. They see you and you just won't stop because strong men keep coming. They see you and you don't even require an alarm clock because there's no time to sleep, to dream or drift. You got work to do and loads to lift. They see you. The South African Zulu culture greeting is just simply, "I see you." And in the most profound sense, recognizing the other person's worth and dignity is in fact a salutation by itself. And I wanted you to know that we see you. God of our weary years and the God of our silent tears, He sees you. Do you even know that there is no swab necessary? Your DNA has already been established. You are the survivors of black men who didn't jump off the ship in the Middle Passage. Right.
We see you. You are those who found the gumption and the strength to cut the rope down when they tried to hang you from sycamore trees. They see you. You refuse to ride in the back of the bus or, in fact, find yourself in an apartheid water fountain. They see you. How dare you come from an institution that would elect the first black senator from the state of Georgia? They see you. In 1903, W.E.B. Du Bois asked in his classic work, The Souls of Black Folk, how does it feel to be the problem? And I came this morning to rattle the bones of Du Bois, to tell him we are not the problem, because we are not the ones who were bombing Gaza. We are not the problem, because we are not the ones who will, in fact, elevate a podcaster to a national hero status. Yeah. We are not the problem. That it would take damn up 15 years to give our most esteemed alumnus, Martin Luther King Jr., a holiday, but it took Senate 3 days to give a day of remembrance to somebody who was divisive and sowed seeds of discord. We are not the problem. We are not the problem when it is that families are hunkering down, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to be able to afford health care. We are not the problem because a year from now, 9 million senior citizens who are melanated will find themselves without any affordable health care. We are not the problem. While the government is shut down, the president is selling $500 watches and hosting a $1 million dinner in Florida. We can't be the problem. This generation doesn't even understand that before cell phones, we had traditional cameras. And when we had traditional cameras in the parking lot of the mall, was a place that has since gone out of business called Photomat. You would drop off your roll of film. And when you dropped off your roll of film, they would take it to the dark room. And when they took it to the dark room, they would then add solution. And what was important is that when you add a solution to a negative image, you're able to see the picture. You don't even realize you are the solution. You are going to let America see itself in the way that it is supposed to be, the land of the free and the home of the brave. You are the solution. Sitting in class with you is somebody who is going to find the cure for cancer. You are the solution. Somebody 2 rows behind you was going to end gentrification and redlining. You are the solution. Somebody who sits with you in the cafeteria is going to find the heart to speak truth to power and sing the original gangster rap music, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. You are the solution. Ladies and gentlemen, while it is that Picasso refused to use the color red in paint, it is incumbent upon you to use the color black. No matter what it is that you're hearing, the black church is still necessary. Yeah. It is the black church in which we learned our first rites of passage. It is in the black church that it was able to us get positions and titles and authority and Robert's Rules of Order. It's in the black church that we had fed more people than any other institution. In the black church, we found out that we had a soul, even when the Constitution said we were 3/5 of a human being. Say it loud, you are black and you're proud. Don't let anybody make you feel like you ought to apologize for your ethnicity or your identity. Paint it black. Not only do you paint it black, but you'll never be a real man if you don't understand that the source of our strength is in our black women. 300,000 black women have lost their jobs since March, but you don't see them committing suicide. You don't see them jumping off of the bridge. You don't see them slashing their wrists because they understand he may not come when you want him to come, but he's an on-time God.
Let's go.
Morehouse made me a man
but my wife made me a king. If you don't know who it is that makes you who it is that you are, then you have to celebrate your mother and celebrate your grandmother and celebrate your aunt and celebrate your sister. Don't reduce the strength of our black women. Morehouse men, we love black women. We celebrate black women. We honor black women. We respect. Picasso decided to only use black paint, gray paint, white paint, but he refused to use red. After I left these sacred halls of Morehouse College, I went up the road to Duke University. While I was studying religion and philosophy at Duke University, we had our very first Martin Luther King lecture. I was so proud and so excited as being president of Black Seminarians Association that we could invite a civil rights veteran to come speak for us at Duke University. It was our first lecture series, and it was packed to capacity in Duke University's chapel. You couldn't get in. People were lined around the walls. And I brought in one of the lieutenants of the civil rights movement to come and be our first speaker. I was so proud, I was so excited, I was so humbled that we were finally able to get this to come to pass. And he got up to speak, and everybody leaned forward. And while it is that he was speaking, he kept referring to black people as colored. This is 1996, and he's calling us coloreds. Sweat is coming down my brow. He's calling us colored. It's white people in the audience, and he's calling us colored. At the end of the program, the dean of Duke's Chapel asked who wanted to take Reverend so-and-so to the airport. I waved my hand. Please let me take him. I got to get him out of here. Got in my Nissan Maxima. We're headed to the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. He didn't even have his seatbelt on good. I said, Rev, you do know you at Duke University. He said, yes, I know it. I said, you do know it's 1996. He said, yes, I know it. I said, I just got to ask you a question. Why would you come to Duke University and call us coloreds? He said, young man, because when we were coloreds, we knew how to take off our hat when we came in a room. When we were colored, we would lift up our pants when we were going out in public.
Yes.
When we were coloreds, we didn't call black women outside of their name. When we were colored, our senior citizens were safe walking down the street. I said all of that to say I came in 2025 to say we need some colored Negroes. We need some colored people who still love themselves and still value themselves and still honor who it is that they are and where it is that they came from.
Yes.
You don't do that, then you are losing yourself. You're losing the moment. You have a responsibility to paint a future that your ancestors could not have imagined. You have a responsibility to go outside of the frame that America wants to put you in. You have a responsibility to not live in a box, because when you die, they'll put you in one. You have a responsibility to paint with broad sweeping strokes a re-identity of what black manhood is supposed to look like. You have a responsibility not to finger paint, but to spray paint. That whatever room that you go in, they'll know that a Morehouse man was there. You have a responsibility to go beyond the color blindness of Pablo Picasso and understand that the world is not gray, but it's color people that make it vibrant. If it were not for color people, there would not be a red light.
If it weren't for black people, there wouldn't be an elevator. If it wasn't for colored people, there would not be algebra or chemistry. If it were not for black people, there wouldn't be peanut butter or blood plasma. If it were not for black people, y'all not saying anything to me, then you wouldn't even understand how a vacuum cleaner works. You've got a responsibility never to deny your color, but to embrace your color. To paint the world the way that it is supposed to be. To live outside of the frames. And when you paint a new horizon, when you paint a new diaspora, when you paint new communities, when you paint a bright family, when you paint a bright future, remind yourself that white is not a primary color.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey. Yay, Lord. Yes. My God. Woo!
And so what should be our response to Pastor Bryant? What should be our response from the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel at Morehouse College to what is going on in the nation, orchestrated by the ghost of the Confederacy that has returned to Washington? I give you a possible response in 32 words. The triumph of liberal education is the freedom of humanity's heroic search for knowledge. And the triumph of humanity's dignity is the triumph of virtue, ethical intelligence as the light of God. That is supposed to appear on the screen now. But you have to wait for the book or the movie. And so, it is my distinct privilege at this time to call forth Dr. Jawanza Kareem Colvin, class of 97. And while he's coming, I will simply say to you, this is our footnote to the response. Jawanza Kareem Colvin, class of 97, servant, scholar, advocate for justice, senior pastor of Olivet Institutional Baptist Church in Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Colvin leads a 4,000-strong congregation rooted in a legacy of activism and community building, a prophetic voice on race and justice, nationally known for responding to police shootings with faith-fueled action. He uses his pen, pulpit, and presence to demand change and honor victims. Co-founder of Greater Cleveland's Congregations, a powerful interfaith coalition driving reforms in education, justice, and health care. His insight has been featured on Democracy Now!, MSNBC, CNN, and more. A proud Morehouse man, recipient of the Roswell Jackson Award and Martin Luther King Jr. Scholar. He holds a Master's of Divinity degree from Union Theological Seminary, New York, and a Doctorate of Philosophy from Columbia University. Dr. and Mrs. Colvin currently have a son attending Morehouse College. Dr. Colvin's ministry is a testament to faith in action and a relentless hope. Pastor Colvin, thank you for making beauty and nonviolence the efficacy of a moral philosophy in action, stirring the conscience of the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County, and becoming the voice of 12-year-old Tamir Rice's blood crying from the ground, and becoming a major catalyst for Black Lives Matter movement to be launched in the United States. You have my sincere congratulations. Dr. Kevin R. Johnson, class of 96. Call Dr. Johnson's immediate family up. Pastor Johnson, visionary pastor, bold builder, global voice, the 21st senior pastor of Harlem's historic Abyssinian Baptist Church. Dr. Johnson has welcomed over 400 new members since June 2024. Breathing new life into a legacy pulpit. Founder of Dare to Imagine Church on November 30th, 2014 in Philadelphia. He grew a 20-member startup into a thriving community of over 1,500, raising $750,000 to uplift the underserved, and in 2017 purchased an 80-acre campus for $2,200,000 for the church's new home. As CEO of Philadelphia's OIC, he transformed workforce development, doubling the organization's budget and expanding programs across industries, and fundraised more than $6,500,000 for the creation of an alternative school in the school district of Philadelphia. He has preached on global stages, from the largest church in the Protestant tradition in the world, in South Korea, to Africa's historic Region Road Baptist Church in Sierra Leone, where he was the first African American to speak in 200 years, a Phi Beta Kappa Morehouse graduate, He earned his Master of Divinity from Union Theological Seminary, New York, and Doctor of Education from Columbia University. Dr. Johnson's deepest accomplishments, however, are his 3 children, 2 of whom are students at Spelman College, and a son who is a graduate of both Morehouse and New York University. He's happily married to his wife, standing next to him, Miss Kimya S.B. Johnson, a corporate professional and employment attorney, and they reside in Hull. Your alma mater is very proud of you, and the ancestors salute you today. I call forth Robert H. Bolton, class of '86. Robert H. Bolton, innovator, visionary, master of moments, Atlanta native and founder of R.H. Bolton, Inc. Robert Bolton has crafted unforgettable events for over 30 years. From academic convocations to nationally televised tributes, innovating event management, public relations firm specializing in planning, crafting conventions and weddings, co-founder of Morehouse College's 36-year-old Candle in the Dark Gala. It contributed millions of dollars for student scholarships. And with his wife, Tammy, founder of the 13-year-old Pink Frog Affair, raising over $1 million to support breast cancer survivors. His expertise has empowered institutions like Florida A&M University, Morehouse and Spelman Colleges, Georgia State University Law School, and Harvard Business School, which has raised more than $1 million. Trusted by leaders including Atlanta's Mayor Shirley Franklin and Congressman John Lewis, Bolton orchestrated the historic 5-city homegoing of Congressman Lewis, our civil rights icon. A lifelong Alpha man and Morehouse alumnus, he resides in Atlanta with the love of his life, his wife, Mrs. Tammy Bolton, and their daughter, Micah, an alumnus of Agnes Scott College, and John H. Gupton Mortuary College. But he is very alive. Won't you express your gratitude with an applause? I call forth Dr. U.Z. Brown, Jr. Dr. U.Z. Brown, Jr., composer, conductor, cultural icon, professor emeritus, and former chair of the Division of Creative and Performing Arts at Morehouse. Dr. Brown now leads the GIA Music Publications Morehouse College Choral Series. From directing choirs at historic Ebenezer Baptist Church of Atlanta, to shaping music programs at Clark Atlanta and Morehouse, his legacy resonates worldwide. He has performed and conducted across 30 nations, in fact, more than 30 nations, and his compositions have echoed through Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and the Washington National Cathedral. A Phi Beta Kappa Morehouse grad, he holds an advanced degree from Bowling Green State University and the University of Michigan, where in 1980 he received his Doctor of Musical Arts. Founder of the Collegiate Young Artists Program, Dr. Brown has raised over $100,000 to elevate emerging voices of color and is the past president of the National Association of Negro Musicians. Dr. Brown's many performances include soloists at the inauguration of President James Earl Carter in 1977. He has composed arrangements for 4 Morehouse presidential inaugurations and the 2023 rededication of the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel after an $11 million restoration. Won't you honor him with applause? I call forth Dr. David Wall Rice, Vice of Life.
Named we them back. Run you.
At his spender. Dr. David Wall Rice, psychologist, scholar, storyteller, endowed chair, and department chair at Morehouse College. Dr. Rice explores identity through art, narrative, and civic engagement. He leads the Identity, Art, and Democracy Lab and has shaped academic life as founding director of both the Institute for Social Justice and the CTEMS program at Morehouse. With appointments at Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, Wellesley, the University of Pennsylvania, the University of Maryland College Park, Clark Atlanta, Spelman College. His scholarship bridges psychology and pop culture. A National Science Foundation grantee and sought-after media voice, Dr. Rice speaks truth with clarity and conviction and holds the first endowed chair of the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel Crown Forum. Won't you congratulate him, the Fupra? Dr. Jonathan Lee Walson, class of 96, I call you forth. Here comes his family. Dr. Jonathan Lee Walson, scholar, ethicist, spiritual leader, president of Princeton Theological Seminary, the wealthiest seminary in America. With an endowment of more than $1 billion. Dr. Walton is a leading voice in American religious thought, bridging faith, ethics, and public life. Former dean at Wake Forest University Divinity School, and Nathan Marsh Pusey Minister at Harvard University. He has shaped institutions and inspired generations with moral clarity. He is the acclaimed author of Watch This and A Lens of Love, works that reframe the Bible through justice and grace. A 1996 graduate of Morehouse College, Dr. Walton earned both his Master's of Divinity degree and his Doctor of Philosophy degree from Princeton Theological Seminary, later receiving honorary and distinguished alumni honors from Wake Forest and Morehouse. He shares life and purpose with his wife, Cicely, a children's book author, and their 3 children, modeling the values he teaches through word and witness, which inspired his daughter, Sora Neal, to enroll at Spelman, and his son, Elijah Mays, to enroll at New York University. Honor him with your applause, please. I call forth Dr. Vincent Lee Wimbush, Morehouse class of 75.
What blossom?
and extended family. Dr. Vincent Lee Wimbush, thinker, theorist, trailblazer of text, an internationally recognized scholar of religion. Dr. Wimbush is world-renowned for creating and piloting the most decisive paradigm shift in biblical interpretation in the 20th century and the 21st millennium. He is the founding director of the Institute of Signifying Scriptures, a bold, independent experiment in transdisciplinary research and political formation, creativity, programming, and the intersection of the real world in art and literature. Over 3 decades, he mentored graduate and doctorate students at Claremont and Union in New York, shaping a generation of critical scholars, author and editor of landmark works, including Masquerade, Black Flush Matters, White Men's Magic, and Theorizing Scriptures. He redefined how sacred texts are read, lived, and wielded, for he is greatly and extensively published at the top of his field. A Phi Beta Kappa graduate of Morehouse class of 1975, he earned his Master of Divinity from Yale, his Doctorate of Philosophy from Harvard. Elected President of the Society of Biblical Literature of the American Academy of Religion in 2010. And he's Phi Beta Kappa visiting scholar to other campuses. Dr. Wimbush continues to illuminate the deep ties between Scripture, power, and black flush. Won't you honor him with your book? Reverend Stephen A. Green. The Reverend Stephen A. Green, prophet, organizer, pastor of the people, senior pastor of the Greater Allen AME Cathedral in Jamaica, New York. Reverend Green leads a global ministry grounded in bold faith and social transformation. His prophetic strength against racism and his graceful moral confidence challenging arrogance in the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel as a student, demonstrated the sound of a trumpet, not a flute. A frontline freedom fighter, he earned his mantle not just in the church, but in the streets and jails of America, arrested 10 times across 9 cities while demanding justice for the unjustly slain at the hands of aggressive law enforcement officers. Host of the Pastor's Pod, he engages cultural architects and change makers in dialogue that stir hearts and minds. A proud Morehouse man, he holds advanced theology degrees from the University of Chicago, Union Theological Seminary, and is pursuing a Doctorate of Ministry degree at Boston University. From Troy Davis to Trayvon Martin, to Laquan McDonough, to Colin Kaepernick, his activism has shaped a generation. With his wife, Mrs. Bray Telford Green, by his side, from the pulpit to the public square, Reverend Green lives a ministry of courage, conviction, compassion, and concern with the beloved community. Today, your alma mater is proud of you, and we all salute you once you are met. And now it is my privilege to call forth Dr. Jamal-Harrison Bryant. Michael. Dr. Jamal-Harrison Bryant, visionary, prophet, activist, a voice for justice and faith. Dr. Bryant weaves scripture, strategy, and social change, reaching millions worldwide. From founding Empowerment Temple AME Church in Baltimore to leading New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest, Georgia, the largest black land-owning church in America. His social justice ministry impact is consistently exceptional. A Morehouse man, Duke Divinity Scholar, and holder of a Doctorate of Ministry degree from the Graduate Theological Foundation, he has stirred souls and shaped movements. His sermons in King Chapel and on our Century campus remain among the most powerful and impactful delivered in the last 46 years. Pastor Bryant has 3 million social media followers and has accumulated more than 300 million views across multiple digital platforms. Pastor Bryant led the effort to establish 150 mini homes for residents who have never owned property before, in partnership with Habitat for Humanity. And this took place in DeKalb County in April of this year. From the King Stable Ministry of the church, 1,300,000 people have been fed in 7 years. This past summer, $1,500,000 in scholarship funds were dispersed to undergraduate and graduate students. I was one of the 3 references for his candidacy to become senior pastor at New Birth, and I am not disappointed. Won't you give Pastor Bryant a standing ovation? Mr. President, you have my permission to sound the 1787 founding bell, and then shall the trumpet sound. Now, we'd like you to bear with us for just a moment for this first historic photograph. We have a particular arrangement. There will be 2 different ones. Then we're going to sing the college hymn, which will be our official dismissal. But we want you to remain seated. Students, if you have to, you may depart for lunch or your next class. We're going to permit persons with cell phone cameras to also take pictures. And we're going to do a special shot that we're going to have to set up after this initial photograph.
Just a note for students, happy homecoming. Everybody gets credit today, so if you need to leave for classes, you're welcome. I mean, thank you, Wirt. You guys sucking your teeth and stuff.
Beep, please. Should I say?
Please rise for the singing of the college hymn.
Hey,